Good morning to you too. Good morning, everybody. I am Nu-Trix, the synth guy, and today we're talking about drum machine. We're talking about the TR-8S firmware update 2.0, which is amazing. Every time I see something cool like that, I wish I had more. So, of course, I will wish for more, but what Roland put into this firmware update is amazing, and it's something that I think a lot of TR-8S user will go for, and maybe others that want to have the wealth of option that the TR-8S now offers is really, really impressive. So let's actually go in. In the firmware update, there's many things. There's the new FM sounds or tones. I'll explain more later on how you approach this, but just to be clear, they're not full engine FM synth that you can tweak. They're kind of presets of tones that you can modify a little bit, but then if you don't know FM, it's perfect because you don't need to know FM. You just need to tweak for the sound you want, and that's it, and pick the sound you want. So there's more on that later. I'm sure this update will affect some people not knowing if they want a TR-8S or if they want something else, and now they're going to look at this one like, oh, this one also have FM drum sounds, and they're really cool. Second one, there's a reload function for kits and patterns, and that's really useful when you go crazy with all the parameters. You change everything, you go, okay, let's go back to the original patterns I had. You go utility pattern, and then it goes back to the pattern. Or you go crazy with the sound design, and then you go, I want to go back to the clean kick and snare I had, or when I started that kit. You go utility and kit, and then it goes back to this right on the moment you do it. So it's a cool way to bring it back without having to leave and coming back, especially live. That's what it is. Remember that the TR-8S is called a rhythm performer, not just a rhythm box composer. There is now also new instrument effects. So per sound, you can have a saturator, you can have a frequency shifting, you can have a ring modulator, and you can have a spread to have a wider sound. So these are per instrument. And now there's also on the controller knob, you can assign the value of the instrument effect. So you can actually control that in real time, the amount or one value of this thing. So this is pretty cool. And there's little things like they added a delay output to send to reverb. So there's a reverb sent in the delay. So that's it. So let's actually go into listening to the sounds and playing back the sounds, and you'll see that they sound really rich. But before that, I'll explain what the engine is about. The way they added FM synthesis to the TR-8S is in the same logic as the analog circuit behavior that they have for the kick, snare, and hi-hat of the 808, 909, 606, and all that stuff. It's the same logic, meaning that they build models of these, like kick drums of FM synth, snare drums of FM synth, hi-hat of FM, bass of FM, effects of FM, cymbals, all these sounds. They created little models of FM. Some of them use multiple operators, some of them use just a carrier and a modulator, some of them use feedback loop. I mean, all these concepts that you have in FM synthesis exist there, but you don't have control over them separately or specifically. You don't have the full access to these controls. They created a kick, snare, hi-hat, these tones. You pick the one you want, and then you tune it the way you want. Exactly like you load a 808 kick, and then you have a control over some parameters of it, but you cannot change you cannot create a new drum out of the TR-8 kick. It's an 808 kick. That's what it is. So they added, and that's a cool thing, 64 new tones. So it's like having 64 new little synthesizer in it. There's 11 new kick drums, there's 11 new snares, 5 new toms, 1 rim shot, 4 clap, 4 FM hi-hat, 2 cymbal made out of FM. There's 7 new percussion, including congas, cowbells, shakers. There's 10 new FX hit. There's one FM deep voice, and there's 10 FM synth, bass, scaled, or chord sounds. So 64 new tones, 64 new model of sound to play with. There's a little bit more control in the one that are, I would say, chromatic or tunable, like the bass and the voice and all that stuff. You also have a FM coarse value, so you can change a big part of the tone of the sound. Whereas the other one have a control called morph. And morph is basically, they picked up the best part of it to modify what you want. Some of the time you just have more feedback. Some of the time you have a higher pitch. Some of it bring more distortion or more of the movement. So you'll see. Let's play them. Okay. So here are the example of sound that come with it. Now the Nu-Drums. These are new patterns that comes with it. So some of the sounds are made to really show what you can do with FM. Let's actually do our own. We want to go into Instrument, and we want to go into FM. So the first FM is this one. You hear right away the FM sound. Now I can actually go into Control and select so that this one now control morphing. So morph, this is the FM qualities of it if you want. Put it long so we hear it. Okay, so if I'm going to do record motion, actually I'm going to just record this like low value, F, quarter, the quarter, and the maximum, and then on. So you hear the evolution of the sound. Okay, if I change to another sound, so you see the different type of sound you can get. So this is the variation. So there's only one control, which is the morph. So the rest is what exists already. You know, you can change that, but so we're still into. Oh, I recorded all of that. Sorry. So I only keep the whole kick. It's always F for FM. Like this one's really cool. The one that is this one has a lot of thump in it. That's really cool. And then these are just more like vapory. So that's a cool one. So you hear that evolution again of these 4 sounds. Actually, I'm going to put more than 4. So that's a clicker. Okay. You have. That's a cool one. You hear the movement in it. If I turn off the recording and just. So very interesting. Still kick bass. Turn that off. You hear the movement of the. This one is weird. Now imagine this is just your kick. You hear the evolution of it. You hear the kick here, but then it becomes something totally noisy. If you add this with something else, it's just like right away you get a lot of movement and creation, and just like this is one sound. I like this. This one, hardcore, broken jack. And again, if we stop this, get this one. So go from a very clean sound to something very bizarre. But if you press on, when you move it, that's when it becomes really alive. This is really cool. And that's just one kick with all the FM noise coming in. Really cool. Okay, now the kicks from the FM are done. Let's go for the snares. So what I'll do, so you hear that movement. Again, you have I'm going to record this movement. So shorter snare, longer snare. There you go. You have this. We have this snare now, and we have short and long. So let's go back here, go into the instrument again, and move this. Circuit bended, this one is called. Actually, let's stop this. There's always the snare sound plus something else. Okay, you get simple snares. Are very tonal at the end, to more noisy at the beginning. Mid snare. The last one are really cool, when the morph is at the maximum. You get dunk here. And dink. Tone. Again, when you get to the maximum, you have these nice noisy sounds in it. I like these. A metal sheet. Again, you get that nice noisy sound. Pretty cool. I'm still in the snares. This is far from being a snare. In toms, there's not a lot of them. There's a couple. There's a FM punch. Dramatic. The other one. That's the FM for the tom. These are really retro tom. There's a lot of movement in the one I did. Let's say I just go back into this one and just okay. You hear that movement in it again. So let's go back here. Let's go back here. Again, like these are really, when you go to the extreme, you get a more noisy sound. That's just before the samples. Okay. So that's a twisted clap. Let's do this again in a different way. I'm going to put this as a kick drum like it used to be. So I've got my kick, okay? I'm going to go with the snare, but the snare I'll put hand clap. already has a sound to it. I'm going to select here morph. So I'm going to go so hear the evolution of the clap. Bring that down. Now we're going to put we said we're in the clap. Let's go with a hi-hat. FM hi-hats. Do the classic stuff. Okay. And these are where we're going to go for the other one. Okay, but this one also should be an FM. Okay, but now I want to change these so they're in the morph. So you hear these two. You have this one. So the pitch is changing, but that's basically the morph section. Let's try another one. Oh, this one sounds like, almost sounds like Kraftwerk. If I change this one. This is really cool, you know, metallic sounds. They pushed that. That's the sound people love or know about FM, so they pushed it a lot. Okay. Look at this one. I'll keep this Kraftwerk one. Okay. So let's bring these two down. And this one is cymbal. So we're going to go cymbal. And want the cymbal to be long. And this one, the rim shot, to be on the first one. Okay, and also to be long. So what we'll do, we'll take there's two FM cymbals. I'm gonna go cowbell for this one. So let's just go with this one first. So one thing I would like to see is, because right now when we move this, it only records the movement, the motion on the... No, actually, it becomes even melodic. Hear that? This is cool. This is really cool. Put this one. No, that's not what I want to hear. Again, a lot of FM noise, growl, movement in it. This is cool. Okay, let's try another one. Let's try these. Instead of the tom, I will actually load in percussive sounds. Now see, there's another choice. You got FM morph, and FM course. The course, basically, if you know about FM, this changes the ratio between the operator, the two operators, between the modulator that modulates the carrier, and that's why it becomes higher in pitch or lower, because the harmonics being created are going with the pitch of the modulator. But if you don't know that, it's fine. You say, well, it's richer and it's darker. That's it. So let's actually, but this is interesting because it changes the part. You can kind of tune it. But the one that is more useful is still morph, because it changed the interaction more. Let's say you like this one. I'm going to go like this. Okay, you get that nice movement happening in the FM world here. Let's try another one. Still in the FM world. This is cool. Almost give him a melodic sense to it. And now we're out of it. Let's try now there's a voice. And again, it's a very classic sound of FM sound. Synth sounds. I like to have long because you hear the movement of a. Oh, this one is mostly. I'll erase this. This is a cool one. You hear the evolution of the morph of this one. And again, this is because we're doing morph, but you can actually change morph to chorus FM. Change the timbre again. Okay. That's another one here. It's easy to create like little riffs with that. Go into bass. Here we go. You really hear a sound in this. You really hear the bass sound in it. Let's actually go in controller here. And then yes, more of the sound of one for the bass. That's a cool sound. Let's actually go in again and change to morph. You hear that movement? That's cool. Perfect. We have this. Let's use this of them. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna record. Can you hear that nice evolution of sound? And that's not a filter, that's a FM synth. So you have only two controls, or maybe just one depending on the sound you have. That's the sound. So these are the sounds of the new firmware update 2.0. So that's it. That's the TR-8S 2.0 firmware update with mostly FM as the new thing, a lot of little other things, but FM part of the TR-8S. I always am happy when I see companies supporting what they already built with new firmware, new function. You know, good work, guys. It's just amazing. This is the right way to do business, basically. If you like what I'm doing, thumb up, share it with your friends. Don't forget to look around on the other link that you have below. There's the Patreon. There's the mugs and all that. I also have. I'm waiting for my mask, because now it's the fashion you need to have when you go to the store. So I just bought myself a sample. I can actually show you what it is. So that's it. And stay safe and make more music. Bye, guys.